Yeah, Dave, what were some of the test results on Shohei?
So as far as test results, we got doctors scrambling everywhere. I don't have them. This is more me going by the training staff. Shohei, feeling good this morning, range of motion, strength. He should be at the ballpark here in the next 30 minutes and going to go through the workout.
Are there things he's going to have to do today to sort of reinforce your confidence, just that he's going to be available tomorrow? Anyway, he's sort of restricted even for the rest of the World Series?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, taking dry swings, which he's done, but then obviously taking balls off the tee, batting practice in the cage, that's going to be telling. And I think that he's obviously very well aware of himself and his body. So if he feels good enough to go, then I see no reason why he wouldn't be in there.
And is this a thing where he could possibly injure it worse by playing through it?
What's that? I think that, once we make the decision that he can play, I would assume that there isn't a possibility of that.
Jack, on your left.
Is this more of a pain tolerance and comfort thing for him at this point?
It will be. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
And then how do you kind of balance, like, if he's able to go, is it almost going to be like a Freddie situation where you guys have to kind of like monitor it day by day depending on how he's feeling, or kind of how do you look at just his availability for the rest of the series right now?
I think it's just, honestly, it's just kind of per his tolerance. That's just what it is. So I guess you can put it in the Freddie bucket, but, guys have had this before and played, and again, it's just everyone's tolerance.
How compromised do you think he might be playing?
I don't see him being compromised. It's the left shoulder, which is the back shoulder, so I don't see how that affects his hitting if he's able to go. I really don't.
Go to the third row on your right, Dave. Kirsten.
Dave, do you happen to know if he's ever dealt with a shoulder popping out or anything like this?
I don't, Kirsten. I'm not sure. I'll see him today and just kind of find that out. But again, he gets here in a little bit, but I don't know that answer.
And then just with Walker Buehler getting the start tomorrow, just how confident, how good are you feeling being up 2-0 and also having a guy who's used to pitching on the road and seems to do really well in these types of environments?
I feel great. Feel great having Walker take the baseball on the road against a team that hasn't seen him a whole bunch, but he's a big game pitcher, and every game in the World Series is a big game, and we have an opportunity to put some distance in this series.
2 rows behind Kirsten. Juan.
Dave, so there was a report today, I'm guessing coming from you, that Shohei is going to play.
That's my expectation, given talking to the training staff and getting the reports. And so I just know if it's a per tolerance situation, I just don't see him not playing Game 3.
So a lot of it would also depend on just what happens today.
Yep.
The workout.
Yeah. He's got to still go through the workout and swing the bat. But again, today feels better than yesterday, and our assumption is tomorrow's going to feel better than today. And so with that, that's what I'm banking on.
Go to the fourth row on the right center aisle, Dave.
Hey, Coach. Just checking to see if we can get a clear picture of like the tick-tock of events that happened after his injury, behind the scenes, leading up to today.
Just kind of went into the training room, obviously, and got with the trainers, the doctors, and did a lot of strength and range of motion tests, then got some ice on it. Then at some point he got imaging. I don't know if it was that night or yesterday morning or this morning, whenever it was, yesterday morning. And that's kind of about it.
1 row ahead, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Dave, from what you heard from the training staff, is this similar to what Cody did, I think, in LCS Game 7 in 2020 with that celebration with Kike? And then obviously he played through it in the World Series.
Very similar, just a different shoulder where, I would argue that the right shoulder is more compromising to the swing for a left-hand hitter than the left shoulder.
Other questions for Doc? Bill, we'll get you the microphone.
What did you know about Ben Kasparius when he got called up? Because he didn't pitch in spring training, so I didn't know if you'd even seen him.
I knew his wife was a great field hockey player, and she coaches UNC field hockey. That's what I knew. And I think he had a good fastball.
We'll go up front with Ron.
Oh,
What is your confidence that obviously you want him to play, he wants to play, but he might not be anywhere close to 100% of his effectiveness at the plate?
That doesn't concern me. If he is able to play, willing to play, he's going to play. And Schmidt will know that Shohei's in the box. So that means everything.
Go to Jack in the middle, and then Sam on Jack on your left.
So he flew up separately from you guys last night?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because just with the imaging and all stuff, so he's just landing shortly. Yep.
Walker, from what you saw just from Jack as well as from Yoshinobu in games 1 and 2, I mean, how they attacked and their approach against the Yankees and just kind of what they were doing, how does that kind of help with your game planning, or is there any information you can take from what they were able to do against them?
Yeah, I mean, all three of us being right-handed certainly helps. I think at the end of the day, it's kind of that weaving what we do well versus what they don't do so well, and I think both those guys did a really good job of kind of going to their strengths when they needed to. So, they both did really good jobs, and I think at the end of the day, this game, at least from our perspective, is executing what we're trying to do and kind of expecting that to work out well.
I know we've talked about just you pitching on the road, being in these big game situations, just to be back here in the World Series, to be pitching for Game 3 here at Yankee Stadium. Just what does that kind of mean to you?
Yeah, I've never thrown any game other than Game 3 in the World Series, so kind of familiar that way a little bit. But obviously we were here earlier in the year, but I didn't throw, so never thrown here, so that'll be exciting. And Game 3 of the World Series, it doesn't get more exciting than that.
Other questions for Walker? Fabian on your left, Walker.
Yeah, Walker, you had kind of said maybe the different movement profiles on your pitches last start maybe had to do a little bit with the weather. Is there anything you can do that you can replicate some of those movement profiles?
No,
here,
I think the weather, I think the stadium has something to do with it. So, as I said, having never thrown here, I'm not really sure if that will kind of continue. But I said it before that game. I like pitching in the cold, and so hope it gets down there a little bit tomorrow.
Is there anything you've been able to pinpoint that maybe could help continue to keep that swing and miss in your arsenal just for
trying to throw good pitches and good counts, man.
Third row in the right center aisle.
Walker right here. We've heard a lot this week from your teammates, about when they're 5 years old, when they're a kid, this is what they dream about, Dodgers-Yankees World Series. As you mentioned, you haven't pitched here, but you're going to get to pitch here in the 12th meeting of these two historic teams in the rivalry. And I know you know the history of the game. Is this also what you dreamed about when you were a little kid?
To be honest with you, this whole thing has been, right? This year in particular, but kind of my career in general, this is my third World Series, and I think anybody that plays this game for any amount of time would be happy to have played in 3 of them. So I'm looking forward to doing it again and hopefully coming out successful.
Stay right there with Gabe.
Hey, Walker. What do you take from your pretty extensive postseason experience and the successes that you've had in the past? What do you bring into a game like this? And also, is it the fact that your arsenal is a little different now? Does that kind of neutralize some of that, or do you still combine what you have now with what you've done in the past?
No, I think in any of these kind of big game scenarios you talk about, it's all the momentum and the hoopla and all that stuff. I think it's just learning kind of how to embrace that. I think pretty early in kind of my career, I learned how to do that in some way. It hasn't always worked out very good, but I think that's the big mental hurdle, and then it's kind of the same game, just on a little bit bigger stage.
In the first row, Walker, Ron.
What has Shohei's presence in the lineup meant, both just as a baseball player and as a person, to the rest of the team?
Yeah, anytime you add probably the best baseball player in the world, I think it's going to help and frees up some of the other guys to kind of play with a little less pressure or a little more freedom, however you want to say it. But, Shohei's been great. I think Mr. Caston talked the other day about the person that he is, and we didn't really know all that when we were getting him, and he's been awesome in our clubhouse and awesome for our team. So, it's been a cool year watching him, obviously with the 50-50, but just kind of the day-to-day and the kind of human he is as well.
With him not part of the pitching group this year, have you had time to discuss pitching tips or philosophies with him?
Yeah, I ask him about the splitter all the time, but It just won't. It won't quite do it for me the way it does for him.